So today's chest day, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and this year for my birthday. I don't think I'm gonna go have a refeed day or anything like that. I think I'm just gonna, honestly, as like kind of as my kind of like, I guess you could call it kind of like a cheat meal type thing. It's probably just gonna be steak. So probably just like a New York strip and just potatoes and stuff like that, and just stay strict, right? You know what I mean? Not, just stay in that calorie deficit, stay in the high protein and moderate carbs, low fat range, and just keep going, right? Because I think when you start getting momentum, especially with your weight loss, and you're just like you're just so locked in, and you just keep going. I feel like when you have refeed days, sometimes it can just like throw you off, and then sometimes it's harder to get back, just like back and locked in. And when you're just in the zone and you're just completely locked in on everything, use that momentum to keep riding it as long as you can. Because the one thing I'd be worried about is, so I go have a refeed day on my birthday, and I get crumble, and I go get all the freebies, and I have cake and have all that stuff. It's gonna make it really hard for me the next couple days to lock back in, and then you're gonna have extras of that stuff, around, and you're gonna have leftovers, and it's gonna be a lot harder. That's why I'm a big believer on, don't keep the stuff in your house, right? So like, if you're gonna want candy one day, like, make sure you just buy enough candy to have a couple servings that day and then be done, right? Don't buy a huge bag of candy where you're gonna have it laying around the house and the cabinet, because that's when you can run into trouble come 11 o'clock at night, that hunger's hitting, because you're going to feel a little bit of hunger. Not going to lie, you're going to feel hungry when you're in a deficit, especially sometimes towards the end of the night. And you're going to be like, oh man, I'm just so hungry. And you're going to start thinking about that candy in the cabinet. And you're going to be like, oh yeah, there's candy in there. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you just got to try to keep enough meal or enough food around that's just for your food prep, right? And that meaning when like you live on your own and all that stuff. I know it's harder when you have to when you live with your parents, or when you're living with roommates and stuff, because then they're gonna have their stuff around, and it's gonna make it harder. But at the end of the day, you just gotta like hold yourself accountable, stay disciplined, and be like, that stuff is not in play right now, but it's not no forever, but I can have that stuff later on. You know what I mean? Today's plan for chest day, I am going to mix up chest a little bit. So instead of doing incline bench and then incline dumbbell presses, I'm going to probably start with dumbbell flat benching presses, and then we'll move over to the incline machine. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to start doing some more flat benching stuff, and eventually we'll get into regular flat benching. But I don't know. Like, I'm just so nervous when it comes to flat benching with the barbell and all that stuff. That's where people tear pecs. That's where like a lot of stuff can go wrong. Incline, it's harder to tear your pec on. Not impossible, but still harder. And then I don't know, I just like incline more. But we're gonna start doing some more flat stuff and try to make sure we're hitting that mid to lower pec better than what we have been. So I think people are right when I started kind of feeling in there. I think my lower pec is not that developed, so we want to make sure we're hitting that mid to lower as well. Because when you're doing incline benching, they say it does hit the whole muscle, but it doesn't really hit the bottom as good. But it still hits the whole pec, especially the upper, because most people have issues with their upper pec is not developed, so a lot of people will get away with just hitting incline all the time. Me, I kind of have the lower pec is not that developed from what I can tell, but it's kind of hard to tell with the fat, right? I have to feel around and all that stuff. And then some of the medicines that they started me on, I got to be really cautious with, because they can make me grow woman boobies. So they're like, if you start getting really soft around your boobs, and like you start getting almost kind of like a gyno kind of look thing to it, it's because of my medication they put me on. They put me on this stuff called Flomax, so I can go to the bathroom easy and don't have any issues with like retention and stuff like that. But enough of all that. Let's get in there and get started on this chest day, and We'll do flat, and then we'll do incline, and then we'll finish it off with like pec flies. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not, the only thing that's sore on my body right now are my legs. I really need to start working on my back better. My back doesn't look that good, right? I mean, we got the big, nice steak look, but I'm like, we need to make sure we're hitting it really well where it's getting all the little small muscles and all that stuff as well. And I notice, you know what? I kind of started noticing this the last back day. I'm pulling more with my hands and my arms, and I'm not really pulling with my back. So meaning like, so when you like, you want to just like have like your grip strength, and then you just want to pull with your back, right? You want to like flex and pull. And I was sitting there last night practicing that flex and that pull like this, and I was like, huh. So I think this whole time I've had a bad mind to muscle connection in my back, because Sam Solik was talking about it. So then it got me really thinking about it. And so I was sitting there practicing. I was like, oh man, that's like, yeah, I don't think I'm doing that. I think what I'm doing is I'm pulling here instead of just grabbing and pulling here. So that's just some things you got to really think about when you're working out, is just try to get that mind to muscle connection really well, and just like try to pull with your your what are they called, shoulder blades back. I don't know if that's the way to explain it, but I don't know. Anyways, let's get in there and get started on this chest day. All right, so pretty good lift. So I did, let's see here, stop workout. I think I did 9 sets total. Remember, 3 sets you guys don't see. That's for short form content. Fit will save. Took me 37 minutes. Says I burned 344 calories. Average heart rate was 120. Let's go ahead and save it. And then I'll have to go back in and make sure that everything was correctly counted, like what workouts. So I did 8 sets for 344 calories. So, I don't know, I like this watch, but then I kind of don't. It makes it a little bit more of a pain to track everything, but also easier at the same time. Like, you get better information. But my chest is pretty destroyed right now, so let's take a look. For some reason, I feel like I woke up holding a lot of water today. I don't know why. I just do. So, this is what we're looking like. So, pretty good. I don't know how much more fat I have to lose, like pound-wise. I feel like I still have a solid layer on my back as well, so I might have more fat to lose than I think. I really don't want to go down to like 170. So, I don't know. Just gotta keep pushing and see where we can get to and see what we look like at each. Like, we will reevaluate every 10 pounds, so like once I get to 200, we'll see what 10 pounds of fat loss looks like on us. And then we'll go from 200 to like 195, 190 and see how that looks. And then we'll decide from there if it's like, oh yeah, that's time to bulk or not, you know? So just gotta keep cutting, keep pushing, keep the movement up, keep pushing the cardio. I changed from doing 10,000 steps a day to just 7,000 because of all the research that shows that there's no big difference between 7 and 10,000. Like you get the same amount of benefits at 7,000 steps as someone who gets over 10,000 steps. Part of that too, the reason why I did is just my leg is really bugging me and the nerve damage and all that. So I need to do more seated cardio, which I can do more seated. It doesn't bug me too much. But anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow for, I don't know, maybe we'll actually take a rest day tomorrow. So we'll see how we feel tomorrow when we wake up, but maybe we should take a rest day and just give my body a little bit extra rest. But I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video.